and welcome to our final English lesson of the week. We are going to start with a vocab masterclass, so let's get started. So our target word today is selfish. Selfish. Well done. Let's break it down and check how many syllables, remember that's how many beats, are in the word selfish. Let's do it on our heads first. Ready? Selfish. Now clap it out. Selfish. So selfish has 2 syllables. Hopefully you got that at home. So what does selfish mean? Well, if somebody is selfish, then it means they are only caring or thinking about themselves, okay? So a selfish person is somebody who only thinks about themselves. And selfish, the word itself, is an adjective. And if you remember, an adjective is a describing word. So we can use this to describe somebody's actions. I've got an example of a sentence here that I'm going to share with you now. And it says here that Tim was being selfish as he would not share. Okay, so he's just thinking about himself because he wouldn't share with other people. So he's being selfish there. So I have got 4 pictures for you on the screen. I've got a dad taking a lolly away from a baby. I've got this young boy here eating all the cake. I've got this child here who's taking all the toys off the other toddler, and I've got this brother here who's eating all the food. So I want you to have a little think. Can you say a sentence which uses the word selfish, okay, for each of these pictures? Press pause on this video and just have a little go at home now for me. Great, well done. So here are a couple of the sentences that I came up with me. My bottom one says the baby was being selfish because he wouldn't share his toys. Okay, so he's just thinking about himself and he's keeping all those toys to himself and not sharing them. Here I've got the boy selfishly ate all the food. So I've got my root word selfish and I've added the suffix "ly" onto the end, okay, to describe how he is eating all this food. So that's describing how he's eating that food. He's eating it all to himself. He doesn't want to share it with anybody. Hopefully you've got some similar sentences at home. So thinking about synonyms and antonyms and what we could have, synonyms are words that mean the same. So similar words to selfish are self-centered. So that means everything revolves just around you. We've got the word greedy. So if you are greedy, it means you're taking lots and lots of things just for yourself. You don't want to share those with other people. And we've got egotistical as well, which is another synonym. In terms of antonyms, so words which mean the opposite, we've got the word selfless. Okay, so selfless means that you are thinking about other people all the time. We've got unselfish, which is selfish with the prefix un on the beginning. We've got kind-hearted and we've got caring. So both those words mean that we're thinking about all the other people that are around us. So let's recap then on what the word selfish means. So let's check how many syllables are in the word selfish. Let's go. Selfish. So there's 2 syllables in the word. Selfish means that that person is just thinking about themselves and nobody else. It is an adjective, and if I was to use it in a sentence, I would say, stop being selfish. I want some of that food. Okay, so I changed it there, tried to trick you out. So stick that word in your head because we're going to come back to that next week and make sure that you know it. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen now and I'm going to share another one, which is our English that we are going to have a little look at doing today. So I hope that's appeared on your screen and we are going to go back to our story of dinosaurs and all that rubbish. And if you can remember on the story, we went through a bit of a journey, didn't we? Which started with this beautiful earth that got ruined by the man and his factories and his factory workers, and it destroyed the earth, didn't it really? And then at the end of the story, the dinosaurs came and got rid of all the waste and all the rubbish and created this lovely, beautiful earth for everyone to live on. But what I don't want to happen is I don't want this to happen again, okay? I don't want the earth to turn into a grey, dull, ugly, smoky, stinky place. I want us to keep it beautiful and clean, where animals and all of us can grow and live happy lives. So I've got an idea. I think we need to tell the man and other people who potentially could be doing this as well to our earth now, what he needs to do to make sure that he keeps the earth clean. And I've got some examples of things that we might want to tell him. Things that have come out of what we've been doing over the past few weeks. So here I've got plant, flowers, plant flowers. Yeah, that's a good one. We could tell him to do that. So we could plant all the different flowers on the ground to make sure that all the plants grow back up. What other things might we tell the man to do to stop the earth from being ruined? Have a little think. What other things might we tell him? Right, let me show you some more ideas. So here I've got plant, trees, plant trees. Yeah, other things that we want to grow. Look, after, look after the animals. Great, look after the animals. That's a good idea, isn't it? Because we have said that the earth doesn't just belong to the man, it belongs to the animals and everything and everyone that lives on there. So we need to look after those people and animals as well. Here we've got do not burn rubbish. Do not drop rubbish. That's a good idea. And do not rebuild factories, because remember the factories were polluting all the air. Or maybe if we said don't build factories that produce too much waste, so making like eco-friendly factories, okay, so that the air around us on the planet isn't polluted again. So if we could narrow this down then to 3 things that we could tell the man to do, what would you have? I just want you to think of 3 things we tell the man. And if you remember, when we're telling someone to do something, we call this a command, okay? What can you remember about commands? What did they need at the start? Have a think. Yes, I remember. Commands need a verb at the beginning of the sentence, okay? So commands have a verb right at the start because we're telling someone what to do. So let me tell you my first one then. My first command is going to be this. I'm going to have do not drop rubbish. Okay, that is my first command. You need to think of 3 commands that you're going to tell the man. They can be the same as mine or different to mine, but I want you to try and come up with your own if possible. So my first one is do not drop rubbish. What are the 3 things that you're going to tell the man to do to make sure the earth doesn't get in this bad position as it did before? I'll put this screen back on. Just pause it for a second and choose or think of 3 different things we need to do to tell the man. Okay, so hopefully you've got your 3 ideas now after you've paused it. I'm going to share mine with you. So my first one was do not drop rubbish. My next one was plant trees. Plant trees. Trees. And my last one, let me have a look on here. Can I steal anything? Look after the animals. I'm going to choose that one. Look after the animals. Just going to check I have got my commands correct. There's my verb. There's my verb. There we go. Brilliant. So I've got my commands correct. And we're going to need these in a minute. So make sure you've written them down. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do my writing task today. So the reason I'm asking you to do this is because we're going to start doing our longer written task. Okay, so I hope you've got a pen and a pencil ready. So this teaching input that I'm going to give now is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. I'm not going to talk too much because I want you to have more time to be doing your writing at home over the next few days. And the writing that we're going to do are leaflets. So we're going to create a little leaflet that we can give to the man to tell him what he needs to do to make sure that the earth does not get in the disastrous place that it was in before. And if you're thinking, what on earth is an leaflet, Miss Reed? I've put a few on the board to show you. So here you go. You should be able to see some different types of leaflets. And leaflets are little booklets that have important information in them. And you might have seen some when you've been on your days out to the farm or to the zoo or even in the supermarket. Okay, little bits of information inside them. So they're short documents. Normally they're very colourful so that when you walk past them, it makes you go, and they're quite eye-catching, you want to pick them up. And they're used by people who want to find out certain information on certain topics. So for example, this one here is about how to make sure that children have healthy teeth. This one here is about a nursery afternoon, and this one here is all about London and why you'd want to go to London. So they normally have a specific focus. And our leaflet focus is going to be about how to make sure that the earth is kept clean. Okay, so that's the focus of ours. It's how we can make sure that the earth is kept clean and it's not ruined like it has been done previously. So we're going to have a little go today at writing some simple sentences. And we're going to organise our writing as if it would go in a leaflet. So we need to make sure that we've got our subheading. Can you remember what a subheading is? Just have a little think, because we have explored this over the past few weeks when we looked at non-fiction texts. Yes, a subheading is a mini title and it tells us what the information underneath is about. So we need to make sure that we're including a subheading today. And we're actually going to make sure that our subheading is a command. And that's why before, when I asked you to think of your 3 key areas, they're going to be your 3 commands over our 3 writing days. So we're going to have today's writing day is going to be our first command, Monday is going to be our second command, and Tuesday is going to be our 3rd command. We're going to make sure that we include a verb with the suffix ing in the sentence. So this builds on with our learning that we did yesterday. We're going to punctuate each sentence, and my challenge is to use so to explain, but we might even snip in a few more challenges for you to do in your writing. So let's flick back and see what I'm going to be doing my section on today. So we're just doing the first piece of writing today, okay? So in my leaflet, here is my first section. Do not drop rubbish. So I'm going to, in today's bit of writing, use that as my subheading. Okay, so here my subheading is going to be do not drop rubbish. And because it's a mini title, I need to underline it as well. So straight away, I've done the first thing on my learning objective. I've used a command for my subheading. Right, now I need to try and write some information in simple sentences about why that the man should not drop rubbish. I've got some keywords on the word map which you might want to use for your spellings. The rest of them I know you can use with your phonics. We've got the word volcano, creatures, waste, which is another word for rubbish, remember, factories, world, dirty, beautiful, pretty, stinky, smoky. We've got remove, which means to take something away. Heave, pull something heavy. We've learned that in one of our story times. Build, burn, and pour. Can you remember how we pour something? So these are all words we've explored through this unit. So you might want to try and include them in our information leaflets today. So my section is about not dropping rubbish. So straight away, I think I'm going to make sure that my first sentence has a verb with an ing suffix in the sentence. It's in the progressive tense. So I'm going to say dropping rubbish is bad. Dropping rubbish is bad. And I need capital letter at the start of that sentence. Let me just sound out dropping. D-r-o-p-ing. Dropping. Let me check. If I wrote drop, drop has a short vowel sound before the P. Can you remember what we needed to do yesterday? It has a short vowel sound before the last letter. You're right, we need to add another P. Well done, so double that consonant. So I'm going to say dropping rubbish is bad. Because I'm going to extend that sentence. Because what? What does it do? I know. Because it makes the world. Where's my spelling of world? Let me look on my word map. There it is. It makes the world. What happens when we drop rubbish? What adjectives can we use to describe it? Makes the world. What about dirty? Dirty and messy. M-S-E, messy. Brilliant. So straight away here, look, I've got my ing suffixed verb in my sentence. Right, dropping rubbish is bad because it makes the world dirty and messy. We could say that you should put rubbish in the bin. Oh, so we've got another command. You should put rubbish in the bin. You should put rubbish. I said rubbish already though. Which word could I have that means the same as rubbish? Waste. You should put waste in the bin. To stop, what would it stop? It would stop the animals from getting hurt. Because if there's lots of rubbish on the floor, then if they step on something sharp, it might hurt them. So you should put waste in the bin to stop the animals. Oh, there's a word on here. Creatures. I'm going to use creatures. Creatures from getting hurt. Ooh, hurt. You sound out hurt for me. Hurt. How do I make that sound? How do I make the sound? It is a U and an R. Well done if you said IR or ER. They sometimes can be used as well, but U and an R normally goes in the middle of a word. So you should put the waste in the bin to stop the creatures from getting hurt. What else could I say? I want to say something about if you don't put it in the bin, then the world won't be beautiful or pretty anymore. Instead, it will be smelly and stinky. Can you remember how in previous lessons we've used superlatives? We've used prettiest, beautifulest, okay? Wonder if I could use one of those. So I could say, if you want the earth to be the prettiest, yes, that's a good one. If you want the earth to be the prettiest, then you need to keep it clean. How do we spell clean? K-U-E-N, clean. Let's go. K-U-E-N, clean. I might end by saying, make sure you do not drop rubbish on the ground. So yeah, make sure you do not drop rubbish on the ground. And what else could I put? Make sure you do not drop rubbish on the ground and keep our earth beautiful. I like that. And help keep our earth beautiful. B-A-B-E-A, beautiful. Great. Right, I'm going to check this now. I'm going to get rid of those lines that you can see with me. And let's have a little check and see how I have done with my piece of writing. So I needed, didn't I, a command at the start for my subheading. I'm just going to get my green pen, just like I'd mark it in school. And I've got my command there because here I've got do not drop, which is telling me what to do at the start. Then I needed to include a verb with ing in a sentence. So let's read the first sentence. It's got a capital letter and a full stop, which is a great start. Dropping rubbish is bad because it makes the world dirty and messy. So here I've got dropping, so I've done that one as well. You should put waste in the bin to stop the creatures from getting hurt. Great, I've punctuated there. If you want the earth to be the prettiest, I've got my superlative there, then you need to keep it clean. Make sure you do not drop rubbish on the ground and help keep our earth beautiful. Oh, so I've punctuated everything, but I've not used so to explain. I'm going to go back and change that last sentence then. Watch this. I might say, make sure you do not drop rubbish on the ground so that you help keep our earth beautiful. So here I've got my so, which is what I needed to make sure I had a full house on my success criteria. So that is my little piece of writing that I'm going to put in my leaflet about how we tell the man how to keep the earth clean and stop it from getting ruined. You're only writing one section today, and then next week we're going to do some more on Monday and Tuesday. So you still need those 3 subheadings. Don't put them in the bin, okay? So have a little go at doing this piece of writing at home. Make sure you've got beautiful handwriting. You're using your punctuation to write your sentences as well. And I'm going to stop talking now so that you can have a longer amount of time to do your writing. But if you need a little break at home, go away for 5 minutes, have a little brain break, stretch your fingers off, and then sit back down and finish it. Don't worry as well, that's okay. Enjoy doing this task, and I can't wait to see all the fabulous advice that you're giving this man to help make sure that our earth is just as beautiful as it is now and keep it just as it is. Fingers crossed. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Bye, everyone.